What's up, beautiful souls? Your boy Loon is back with another subreddit video, and today we are diving back into the wonky world that is Incel.is. For those of you guys that don't know, this is one of the worst forums you can find online, and I curated some posts that are a little bit less, rated R, so I can actually read it on YouTube. But today we're gonna be diving into that. And for those of you guys that don't know, we are also doing live streams here and there. If you guys want to join the Discord, it's gonna be the link in the description box. That one, in the Discord, I notify everybody whenever I am live streaming. With that being said, let's get into today's Incel.is post. Man, I am so not ready for this, but let's get into it. All right, so first one here is under Teehee section, men are not attractive anymore. We have a girl who posted men are not attractive anymore. It looks like it's on a TikTok. And this says, this is the world we live in now. And then he says that she's ugly, which is crazy. Calling men ugly. Look, her looks match was eaten alive by a lion in Kenya. What? And then the comments on this post said, you could have stopped at men are not attractive anymore, and that could have been the whole video. Literally, I'm to the point where I'm okay with being single forever and not smart. Well, it's just one of those posts that, you see this on both sides, like girls and guys both saying, oh, like today's generation, blah, 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 blah. If there was real justice in this world, these Fs would be, wow, that is crazy to say. Why? And then someone said in the comments, they're liars, cheaters, lustful, emotionally unavailable. Should I continue? Well, I will agree that it is kind of crazy that people are just like hating on all guys and generalizing, because I feel like not all guys are all the same. I mean, it's the same thing with girls, right? But there are poopy people of both parties. Yeah, 100%. And also, apologies in advance. I'm going to have to blur in and out some of these posts because, it is Incel.is. So this next one here, I've got, the title says, my height is my downfall. All right. Yesterday, I went to the grocery store with my mother and saw this extremely taller woman who had a boyfriend. He was even taller than she was, and they were holding hands and kissing. Whoa, great. Oh no, I'm so mad at that. What's even worse is that later, my mom saw another young guy with his mom. He was extremely tall, at least 6'5". My mother asked me, why aren't you tall like that lady's son? It sounds like my mom. My mom would always compare with anyone. They probably overheard us too, since we speak the same language. Same woman who called me crazy for considering LL. I don't even know what the LL is. So, but why are these guys, I just don't understand why they're mad at other guys being successful. That's the mentality that gets you stuck in not getting any success ever, brother. Like that's what it's about. Like, if you're not, why are we all hating on each other in general? This is why men's mental health is such a thing, because like it's us that put each other down, bruh. Anyways, yeah, let's read this next one. I can't read this guy's name, and so I will cover it like that. All right, so this one says, being skinny was never the problem. I see other skinny guys get girls all the time. The difference, good face, good skull, TBH, and good bone structure and frame. Did you ever wonder that maybe they also are like cool and like have a good personality, things going for them, money maybe, like a lot of factors. There's so many factors that goes into being attractive in terms to women and to men. There are some women out there that only care about one or two factors, 100%. Those aren't usually the girls I go for, but most women that I've been with and have met in my life, they have like a laundry list of things to hit. It's not just, oh, you're skinny or, oh, you're tall. Most of the time it's not. But yeah, I know it might blow these guys' minds. All right, this next one says, what defines an incel, quote unquote. All right, this is a good one to start with. Joseph the Judge here says, we all know that an incel, aka involuntary celibate, is by definition a man who cannot obtain relationships. We also know that due to Gonternaut law, we also know that women, due to Gonternaut law, are unable to become incels, seeing that as they will always have options due to hypergamy, and so they can only be volcels. I don't even know what that means. The problem arises when we question as to whether a man who can only afford to have an oofy-doofy relationship is an incel, seeing as he can afford to have relationships but can only inspire to have the condition of cuckdom. What? The inconsistency here lays in our assertion of the impossibility of femcells, as it can be said that that women aspire to the condition of the fulfillment of a criterion which exclude all her options. It can this is so weird to talk about. It can be said that the aforementioned men is only an incel as to whether he aspires to his standard, and how is that not considered a volcel if both of them are in a logical identical position. What are we even talking about? Okay, I skimmed through this and I'm gonna have to blur some of this. Holy crap, this guy starts talking about like ISIS. That's crazy. What? How does this even connect? Let's read this. I'm gonna read this last paragraph. That being said, I know the reason why we should not include derogatory term F and normies is because it incentivizes male intrasexual competition. Even if a woman was allegedly a giga saint, she would have not be here given my authority. Seeing as if, and then he says the R word, will simp for her and try to impose moral authority to him, neither would I include. God, there's so many derogatory terms. He says the F word. Are Saint Covcells in denial? As I previously stated, we have no consistent, coherent definition of what an incel is, and so we cannot make a coherent sentence of another member while being consistent in our judgment. Unless you, what is he? This is just a whole lot of nothing burger. Yo, I'm gonna be honest. The dude's just rambling and it just doesn't make any sense trying to sound really smart. Wow. It is so hard for me to be able to read these guys. This one's title says, just be positive. I often hear people say things over and over that you should just be positive. I'm gonna move this to just my screen. And stop being so negative, quote unquote. But I mean, come the F on, are these people really that R word that they don't know their world is built on a platitude of lies? I mean, really, just be positive, like effing how? I should just accept that I live in a society that doesn't care about me and work until the bone so I can be disposed of. Yeah, I'm totally gonna do that to a society that tells me I'm not even entitled to love. No one's entitled to love. What is this whole thing? I really have to wonder how these people live their lives like this. My effing God. Dude, to answer to that, positivity is harder. It's easier said than done, 100%. And a lot of people out there, even incels, not beyond incels, it's really hard for them to fathom being positive because they're a glass half empty guy. What I will say is there's benefits to both. To be negative, you can be a realist in certain ways, but also to be positive allows you to have the freedom of not stressing about every little detail. Like I'm pretty positive, I would say, and I'm just like, hey, I'll give you an example. If a girl doesn't like me, I'm like, okay, that saved me a lot of time, and that's that. That's just all it is, man. Wow, I really am trying hard to find something I can actually show you guys. I cannot show you guys any of those. This one's kind of sad. Okay, let's read this one. True cell trait. Your family dislikes your existence. What? Whenever they went out to eat, to theme parks, swimming, visiting relatives or friends, just going out in general, they purposely left me out. I feel like an outcast in my own family. That's really sad. And I'm like, I'm sorry for that, you know? That sucks. Like, that sucks for anyone, period. They wanted me to leave the house and then they went out. Timing is perfect every single time. They didn't want me there. When I asked to join, they just insulted me until I gave up and left on my own. That's messed up. If that's your family, bro, you need to get out of there as soon as you have the money and funds. They got annoyed of me for being quiet, but then they shouted at me when I spoke more. The few normie friends I had always made fun of, that had always made fun of me, not with soft, harmless jokes, but at an extreme level. I was just being myself. I left them. But as a result, I am completely alone, friendless, familyless, hopeless, and just rotting away. Oh, poor guy. See, some of these guys, like, I genuinely just feel like they just need a hug, man. That sucks. I'm sorry for old dude. OP, that sucks, man. I don't wish that upon anyone to be, like, completely lonely. It's not a fun feeling. So definitely not a good one. And I'm sorry for that. That sucks for him. I want to read this one, but I got to blur it. So It says, we are watching the collapse of civilization. Okay. And I'm going to read it like this because I cannot show this. It says birth rate will be below 1 soon. F word, trans, and specifically lesbians are quickly winning popularity. Dating situations is every time much more unequal. A lot of derogatory term, F, for a few men, but the derogatory term for women. Polygamy winning popularity. The few kids are growing up in broken homes. Men who don't receive any women attention. I'll do quote unquote women for derogatory term. It starts with F. It rhymes with oid. Women attention at all or more and more. Everything is so expensive that men are not leaving their houses. That part, somewhat true. Iffy. Affirmative action politics have made it. Young men become NEETs, neats, and women are earning way more money. Gen Z, well, no, that's not accurate. Men are still earning more money than women overall, yeah. Gen Z will definitely be the childless generation. I don't think so either. Racial replacement is rising and whites will be the minority very soon. What is wrong with that, though? What? These guys are the worst, man. Like, so, okay, wow. Okay, let me finish this first. The structure of men dating women and making a family won't happen anymore. I don't know how the future will be, but it doesn't look good. Okay, first off, to tackle this is inaccurate. You're taking it from the eyes of just yourself. You're lacking the empathy and the ability to realize that not every guy is struggling. Some guys can be. Could there be a rise of struggling in men? Yeah, 100% because of our mental illness and a lot of things like that. But this whole thing, racial replacement is rising and the whites will be the minority soon. What is wrong with that? I'm not saying that we should, like, it shouldn't be a goal or anything, but what's wrong with any group becoming the majority? Who cares? Who cares? Honestly, the majority is actually going to be mixed people in the future, I believe, because everybody's mixing, which is nothing wrong with that. These guys are, some of these guys are the fucking worst, man. That pissed me off. What did I just read? All right, I'm gonna try to find one where I don't have to blur so you guys can actually read along with me. It's so hard. This guy says, the only women I respect, Jesus. The only women I respect are my mother, grandmother, my sister, and a few of my aunts. Basically only the ones in my family. They've been the only females that have ever been nice to me and has never done me wrong. All the other women are heartless, sociopathic W words who'd rather see you in pain than show any basic humanity. I think that just applies to like your situation, bro, because there are cool people out there, believe it or not, of all groups. But I'm glad that this OP at least loves his family, because that is the first step. If even your family hates you, it's game over, in my opinion. Wow, crazy. All right, this one's title is R-word incel tier post. He's targeting us, guys. All right, let's read this. This guy says, guys, as you can see, we have insert slightly unattractive but mogs almost 99% of people on this forum. Now say, see this guy did it. Therefore, you must be able to do the same, whilst ignoring outliers such as the fact that the guy is rich or a CEO. They tried to bring up, okay, well, let me point out, okay, let's finish this first. They tried to bring up the Mighty House as being proof that looks doesn't matter. But, Mighty Mouse, the MMA fighter. But let's be honest, that MFer mogs us all, and not only that, but he's a rich MMA fighter. Notice how Chad does not have to have wealth or have to have any status or personality and still get swarmed with women. We have to make up for being ugly by magically becoming rich enough to beat up. But even then, we would inevitably be divorced since she is not actually attracted to you but your money. Well, that is manifestation to a T right there. So she will take her kids and divorce you, successfully having taken your money, which was the women's plan all along. You think handsome dudes don't get gypped too? Like, that's kind of insane to think. A lot of celebrities that are handsome, tall celebrities still get gypped by the divorce thing. It's not just short guys or whatever. Okay, this is the problem I have. These guys think that they're entitled to everything. They're entitled to the most quality people out there. How dare Chad get blah, 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 blah. It's like a whole bunch of whining, bro. Look, at the end of the day, if you get nerfed, like I did, I'm 5'4". Do some stuff that will make you more interesting. Build up. Yeah. Is it hard? Yes. Of course it sucks being short. Like, you think it's compared to my taller friends, you didn't think I care about that. But at the same time, does that mean I'm just gonna sit here and be like, "Wah, I'm short. Oh, no one's gonna like me"? Or am I gonna build up like my personality, have more fun in my life, and enjoy life, because life is short? And then eventually, women, I will say I've gotten pretty lucky in my life. So I'll just say that without saying too much. But hey, these guys are gonna not believe that. They're gonna be like, "Oh, he's coping, cope max." Yeah, that's the thing, man. Just these guys are the worst. I'm gonna read this next one, and God, all right. I don't even look at women anymore is the title of this one. It says, "I just look away and look down. It feels weak and cooked to look at any of them that aren't elderly ladies. It feels vapid and shallow to look at an attractive one." So you don't even look at them. "I am going to a water park in a couple of days, and I just know that seeing a woman in a bikini will trigger it, and I'll probably have to cuddle myself. I've done it every year." He cuddles himself at the water park? What, does he go to the bathroom? That's disgusting, bro. What? Dude, you can't control yourself at a water park? This is what Cartman was talking about. "Why are there so many minorities in my water park?" It's a South Park reference. But this could be an effective cope, conditioning myself to not look at women. That might actually be it. I'm just worried I'm trying to cheat on my biology. Dude, if you're scared of looking at women because you're going to have to cuddle yourself, you have a problem. Like, that's an actual legitimate problem. We're going to have to fix this, buddy, because, like, that's not okay. Every time you see somebody, that's, like, an actual problem. Wow. What the hell is wrong with some of these guys? I mean, jeez. All right, this one is interesting. How can grown men want to date teenagers, aka 18, 19-year-olds? The original post is on 2X chromosome, and it says, how can grown men want to date, 18, 19-year-olds? "Please hear me out. My niece is 18 and just graduated from high school. Today was her graduation. After the graduation, I'm watching my niece interact with her friends, and it hit me that 18 or 19-year-olds are just legal children, at least to me." I somewhat agree with that. Like, I've met maybe a few 19-year-olds that are somewhat mature, but even then, it's like it's hard to relate to them. There is a naivety and a childlike nature, even though the law says that they are an adult. Then I thought, it's this childlikeness that attracts these creeps. Yes, I agree. A 30-year-old man dating an 18-year-old is just messed up. I also agree. Didn't think to dump my affinity on all of you, but the revelation was shocking. Edit. There has been a decent amount of men who are either in a group or saw the posts elsewhere who are not down with dating, 18, 19-year-olds, which is good to see. However, on the flip side, there's a lot of defenders, men and women, of this kind of behavior, mainly because it worked out for them. Well, good for you. That doesn't make it any less weird. And then the guy on Incel.is responds to this saying, 18 and 19-year-olds are just legal children, at least to me. There is a naivety. Okay, so he's referencing that part, and then he says, because they aren't saggy, stretched out, and wrinkled up like you. Wow. And then another guy says, because they're hot. Like, come on, dude. I am 19. I am not a child. If women act like children at 19, I don't know what to tell you. Women do act like children at 19. Some of them. Why do men prefer younger looking, innocent, derogatory term, who haven't had 20? Okay. Wow. You guys can fill in the hole for that and fill in the dot. And I said hole. I guess that works. It's all R-word nonsense, and I could write Romans about it. Feminists usually argue against such a relationship based on a whole power imbalance crap. That's true, though. That's like an actual thing, the whole power thing. There's a power imbalance between a minor and an adult, so consent doesn't work. But so what? What the fuck do you mean, so what? This is pissing me off. The women isn't the power imbalance in itself. The problem is that the other party feels intimidated by it or not. Let's use this as an example of a boy with his cuddling with his female teacher because those R-word, F-words get upset about that nowadays. Well, it's still pretty gross, bro. Like, don't get me wrong, the perception on that is definitely a little bit different, but still, like, think about it. It's still weird. Yeah, the power is okay to is being used to intimidate the boy into doing it. She says you have to blank, 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 rated R stuff. Then it's not our word for, wow. They're acting like the existence of power imbalance is evident that it has to be a word, which is our word. It's just saying that just you owning a pew pew is evidence that you abused or that's not the same comparison though. Owning a pew pew does not mean that you're going to threaten someone with it. That's not the same thing as the age thing. How the hell did they compare that to age? Like what? If someone is not of like mind state an adult, it's weird. I don't care who, what? These guys will justify anything just to argue. It's crazy. I'm gonna read this one. It says my mom won't get me a cuddle doll. And this will be the last one. It has to be blurred. I'm so sorry. It says, I had this conversation with my mom about getting a cuddle doll, and she got a bit angry at me, telling me that I am messed up and need help. Yeah, you're talking to your mom about that, you weirdo. My sister overheard it as well. They told me some blue-pilled, just join a sports club, go out to a bar, just make the first move, which is like all things that you should do. They don't get it. It's not like I asked them for money. I can afford the cuddle doll and also take the time to clean it. But no, they won't let me get it. Well, if you can afford it, how old are you? Why are you having to ask your parents permission? This is weird. Why would you talk to your mom about this? This is strange. I don't know much more I can take. I'm getting sick of this effing life and I can't even cope in peace. What the dude? I'm already over it. I have a dinner to get to. I'm done. I'm done with this, man. This is just annoying to read, man. Like, how do these guys really think that this stuff is like normal? Like, ugh. Especially that one guy that said like the whole, oh, white people are gonna be the minority. No, like, who cares? Anyways, yeah. I hope you guys had a great one. Sorry that I had to, subject you to that. That was an interesting ride. I love you guys so much, and tomorrow we will be maybe uploading. I don't know. Happy 4th of July for everybody who's American tomorrow. And yeah, we might be uploading. We might not. We might stream. I'm not too sure. But I'll catch you guys in the next video. Love you guys, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day and holiday. Bye.